in Canada because
a boot. Not a boot. Sorry.
Hey, welcome back to Trail Trush Garage with Jeff. This is the other Colin's XT250, the modern Gen 1. Just a little, I guess, series on this. It's nothing too exciting. I'm just basically bolting on some parts and stuff, just kind of getting it ready for spring. So nothing too strenuous. But I just kind of wanted to, it kind of goes along with my cheap Amazon series. So I just wanted to discuss a few things, I guess, while I'm working away here. So this, for example, we've got our risers laid out. So we've got risers. It came with bolts, and we've got a fat bar over there. So now when you put this on, okay, it bolts in there, and then your fat bar bolts in there, and it clamps down. You can kind of do them this way, you know, or this way. I don't think it really matters which way you do it. So I think I'll do it this way, maybe, just to give it a little more wide support. But the thing is so this is a blind hole, and this is not a blind hole. So you guys can see that. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, so the length of the bolt for this one doesn't matter. The length for the bolt for this one does matter. So I've got a couple of options here. So we can either shave off one of these bolts so that we've got the width. There's not a lot of meat on that, so I'm not sure. I want to. Yeah, there's not a lot of meat on here, so I cut this bolt off. I thought about maybe just using these washers, these stainless washers, to lift it up. Now the only issue there is, I don't think we'll go over this one here first. The only issue is will the head stick up proud and hit the bar? You know, I don't know that. But the washers kind of will reinforce that a little bit. They're the perfect size for it. But we'll see if that hits the bar. And I think that took up just enough space, just enough. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. All right, cool. Okay, I'm just gonna put these in because I don't want the bars in just yet, because we got something else here. New controls. So again, all this stuff was just on Amazon, but he's got some rash there. He just tore that off. So we're gonna replace this with this. All right. Alright, so we gotta figure out where the old one plugs in, and we may have to do some wiring. I'm hoping we don't, but we probably will. And it's all the way down here. So I think we've got 2 bolts there, and then this may come forward. Now that. Oh, one more, I guess. Oh, that runs all the way back in. That runs all the way back in there. Alright, we're going to strip some of these plastics down. I'll bring you back. Alright. So we got a little repair to do here. I tried repairing that once, but this is not the same type of plastic, so Plastifix just doesn't like this plastic, or this plastic doesn't like Plastifix. So we're going to have to come up with another method to fix that. Otherwise it's not going to stay. What an odd little beanie tank though. Huh? Alright, so we need to get this off. Always makes me nervous. Those push pins. Alright, I would say there used to be a toolkit in there at one point. Oh, holy crap. It just keeps going. I don't want to do a mid-thing splice, but we may have to do something like that. I mean, I figured I was going to have to pull these pins out anyway, but never easy. Alright, so this is going to be easy. So basically, here's the housing, and here's the replacement. Okay. Now the problem is, A, it's way too short to go all the way down to where it needs to go, but B, this is all integrated into the switch gear, the dash. I think what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to disassemble both of these, and I'm going to attach the wires in here, and use this harness instead of trying to move all this over. So let's go over to the bench and see if we can figure this shit out. That's what I should be doing. I should be riding. I'm glad I decided to turn this on. It ended up being kind of yeah, went in a totally different direction than I thought it was going to go. Flash to pass. I don't even know if that's. I don't think there's probably not any flash to pass on this. So high beam flash to pass. Alright, so that's that side. Now let's get this one side. Okay, we got that out. Definitely see the quality difference. Okay, that's the top and that's the top. Green, brown, white, and brown. So it was brown, green, and we better bring up a wiring diagram here. So brown was at the top. Okay, so just like that. So horn button. No. So I got that wired in. The flash to patch isn't going to work because the way it was wired, it would have been a pain in my ass. So I didn't do it. So now we're going to wire this back in. That's busted. You can't get replacements. I think I'm just loop it off for now. So that means that's the clutch safety switch. So it means it will start without a clutch. So yeah, not ideal, but I mean, for an experienced rider, it's no big deal. But nobody had clutch safety switches for years. Oh man. Put a little bit of tape on there. Alright, so that's all snapped back in there. Let's get this all tucked back in. Boys, oh boys, what a rigmarole to get that, eh? Alright, there we go. Now we have two. Now we're not going to switch this out because the other one has got an integrated single pull throttle, and we're not going to do that. I'm not wiring that all up. I mean, this is arguably a better quality switch anyway, because it's factory. And so yeah, it's just not, we're not going to do it. Sorry, call it. So let's see here. Let's try to get all this back into place. I think this thing's bent up pretty bad. There it goes. Alrighty. Straighten in here. Yeah, that's not perfect, but that'll do. All right. Yeah. All right, so we are one in. So one in right there. That's probably good. So I just banged a couple things out off camera, but the biggest thing is I had to take the dash back off, and it's routing these cables. Obviously these bars have got a different bend than the stock. I got to put new levers on, and there was some buggered threads. I had to chase threads. So it's just little things that you think like it's just be a bar change. Oh, and then you run into different stuff, and you might as well. Once you got things apart, like if you see something that you need fixing, you might as well just do it because you're already in there, right? So let's get this done up. So, so this is an example of dumb, crappy Amazon stuff. So there's I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's basically that should be a passageway for the cable. But instead we got some, I don't know whether some flash or something, so we're gonna have to go cut that out of there. Yeah, once again, just stuff you don't expect to run into. All right, I'll be back. Like we eat into the aluminum a little bit right there, but that's not gonna matter. It's got a thing over it anyway. It's gonna cover. So, all right, let's get back to this. All right, boom, there we go. Slick as snot. Pull this up over. Boom. Pretty slick. Now, probably going to go back and adjust all that crap when we try to put the hand guards on. So we'll see. Alright, next thing I gotta do is get this dash back together. And it just keeps wanting to pop out there. I think it'll be fine. It's a little tight of a bend, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Get all that crap in here back. All right, I'm just gonna turn you guys off. The rest of it's kind of just reversing what I did to take it off. I don't know if I filmed that. It doesn't matter. This isn't really a tutorial on how to do this anyway. It's just kind of a video to illustrate what happens when you try to start a simple job and then it kind of snowballs from there. And yeah, so I'll bring you back when I get it done. So we're making some progress here. So that's where we are now. I meant to turn you guys back on because I just was going to show you that how to get those perfect cutouts on the end of your grips. I've got this kind of sharpened up a little bit. I put the grip down over. Hey, stop. I see you. Giggling like you're in middle school. So, put it on here, and then I tap with a hammer, and it makes a perfect cut. Here's the other thing. Another example of when shit just doesn't work right. So, this throttle tube has got the little hole there. See? Little hole. We got to make that a big hole. Usually that's a bad thing, but in this case it's not. So, probably going to use a step drill to get through there because, why are we doing this? Because we've got handguards. And the handguards have got these little spread bungs that need to go in there. So they go in and then they spread open to put a friction free on the inside of the bars. And we'll stay away from any sexual innuendo on that one. All right, so I'm going to drill that out with a step bit, and then we're going to go in. I'll bring you back and show you the result. So these are the fat bars. So these things come with two different thicknesses of these plastic shims that go in them. And I see people in the comments or the reviews on these on Amazon. They're like, yeah, they didn't fit. I'm like they, you know, they didn't fit in here. Well, there's multiple sizes of those spreader things. And I mean, honestly, if you can't figure this out, there's a problem. So now, I mean, a lot of these things don't come with instructions. I'll give you that. But so these are even tapered. So they're kind of thicker here than thinner there. So what that means is it's going to go. You're going to need to put it this way because you're getting to the part where the fat bar is thickening up, right? Now, one thing about these, I have noticed because I had a set on the XT250. These screws suck. Like, that's not very good. That's going to hollow out. So I usually replace these eventually because they look like they're nickel plated. I don't know. I think it's really cheap because they start to rust. I go get stainless from my local shop. I mean, I don't know where you go in the States or in your country. Here in Canada, it's extremely hard to find stainless hardware in metric. You can find stainless SAE standard stuff from, you know, most of your local hardware stores. I think like up here in Crappy Tire, Canadian Tire. I don't know why I call it that because I actually like Canadian Tire, but you can usually get stainless standard bolts. Now their metric selection is terrible, so usually go to a specialty fasten shop, so industrial supply store. We used to have a company here in Canada called Fastenal, but I don't know if they're still around, but they're not around here. They had one office and it went out of business. So, and they got kind of crabby toward the end of it too because they wouldn't sell me stuff. You have to buy like the whole bag. They wouldn't just sell you one or two. So. Now, we're not going to tighten that up very much because we need to judge about what our distance is going to be. But so a buddy of mine got some moose. I think they were moose handguards, and they were a nightmare to install. Like, they made these Amazon ones look like friggin' top shelf stuff. Like, it was just extremely difficult. All right, now we got to go on the end here. So basically that tightens down. Now the only problem is sometimes there's not enough friction there and this just spins and spins without tightening in. But after you get it a little bit tightened, after you get a little bit tightened, it eventually will. Now I'll probably, once I get these fitted, I'll come back. I'll probably put a little bit of Loctite on there because they like to vibrate out. Well, I shouldn't say that. They did on my XT, but XT vibrated like a, you know what. I find impact, like zipping it really fast, sometimes really gets it. No, it grabbed. Look at that. It grabbed. If that ends up not being good, I might have to go in and sand a little bit out of here, zip a little bit, so that'll pinch down a little tighter. I mean, that's not bad. You don't want it to be so rigid that it doesn't, you know, it won't rotate around and, you know, it breaks something instead of giving. There's just an example. So they've got wider, in case you've got the bigger handlebars, or like a bigger diameter inside. Like these are, theirs are thick aluminum, so they're narrower than your steel 7/8 bars. So boom, and then they got the thicker plastic if you're going around a 7/8 bar. So don't be a dumbass and leave uneducated comments and reviews. I shouldn't say that. Maybe they really did have an issue. I don't know. Yeah, it's got to bend more than I really want, but that right there bends more than I want, but only at lock that way. It's just that any other routing kind of, it's too short. Yeah. So we got a high mount fender. Yeah, we're gonna try to fit that because this has got one of these goofy here. One of these goofy low fenders here. So we're gonna try to put the high fender in here because I mean obviously that's all cracked to shit. So, and because this has got, like, it integrates with the shroud, we're gonna have to do some trimming there. I don't know. We'll have to do something. We got to do something with the front shroud here. We only got one bolt, no bolts in the back here, so this thing needs to sit a little more like this, but not so much that it rubs on the pipe. So we're gonna have to work that a little bit, but I think that front mud guard's gonna work. Yeah, and then this is what this looks like with the Pro Taper stuff and the handguard's pretty good. I'm not gonna, yeah, it turned out better than I thought. Nice shorty levers. So yeah, we'll see what Colin wants to do with it. We got a brand new horn, works really good. That horn sounds better than it does in my car. All right, if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing. For Jeff, Trail Trash Garage, I'll catch you on the next video. You know we're in Canada because... A boot! Not a boot. Sorry.